When you're working with cube roots or other rational roots and they are written in rational exponent form, you will want to rewrite them to radical form, and that will make it easier for you to simplify. So for the first one, that 1/2 power, we remind ourselves that is the square root, and that is x squared and y to the 5th. Alternatively, you could also apply rules of exponents, and x to the 4th to the 1/2, you multiply. 4 times 1/2 is 2, and 10 times 1/2 is 5. What doesn't work is when you end up with another fraction, and then it's not quite as simplified. So for the next one, cube root of 125, x to the 9th, y to the 12th. Cube root of 125 is 5. The cube root of x to the 9th, x to the 3rd. The cube root of y to the 12th, y to the 4th. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 9 divided by 3 is 3. For the next one, 64 to the 1/3, that's the cube root of 64, which is 4. 3 times, I'm just going to use rule of exponents. 3 times 1/3 is 1. 6 times 1/3 is 2. If it turns out that you don't convert to radical and you end up with a fraction in your answer, so let's say you ended up with like y to the 2/3. For some problems, that's an acceptable answer. You just have to determine by reading the question how your answer should be written. Should it be written in radical form, or should it be written in fraction or rational exponent form? Beyond simplifying cube roots, we have other nth roots that we can simplify: 4th roots and 5th roots and 6th roots. The 4th root of a number indicates an integer that when multiplied by itself 4 times gives you that radicand. So when you're looking at the 4th root of 16, you need to consider an integer multiplied by itself 4 times that equals 16. And there aren't a lot of choices for that. It's not 1. 1 multiplied by itself is always 1. Move up to 2. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times 2 is 16. So the 4th root of 16 is 2, and the 4th root of x to the 4th is going to be x, because you need now 4 of the same for 1 to come out. So 4 of the same because it's a 4th root. For the next one, we see that the rational exponent is 1/5. That's going to indicate a 5th root. 32 x to the 5th, y to the negative 15. All right, let's simplify by moving that y to the 15th to the denominator. And let's think about what a 5th root means. A 5th root means that we're looking for an integer that when multiplied by itself 5 times, we get 32. So again, we know that 1 multiplied by itself will always be 1. Move up to 2. 2 multiplied by itself 5 times is 32. So the 5th root of 32 is 2. The 5th root of x to the 5th, when we're simplifying with variables, now we're looking for 5 of the same for 1 to come out. Or you could write it as x to the 5 over 5, which is x. Denominator, the 5th root of y to the 15th. If you were to expand and write 15 y's, every 5, 1 comes out. So that's going to be y to the 3rd. Or y to the 15 over 5, which is y to the 3rd. 36 raised to the 3rd raised to the 1/6. So first let's apply our rule of exponents. Power to the power, multiply. So that's going to be 36. 3 times 1 over 6, what does that look like? That's 3 over 6, or 1 over 2. So that's going to be 36 to the 1 over 2, which, as we recall, is the square root. So the 1/2 power is the square root, which is 6.